Hello everyone. In this today's session, we start with a new module, third module. So in the last two modules, we discussed about. In first module, we discussed about IoT architectures and then what is IoT and then advantages and disadvantages of IoT. And then in second module, we discussed about sensors, sensor types, and then IoT, different IoT access technologies, and then communication criteria. So in this third module, we are going to discuss about main two concepts. In third module, you have main two chapters. The two concepts are IP as the IoT network layer. Okay, IP as IoT network layer is the first chapter, and second one is application protocols for IT. Sorry, application protocols for IoT. So first chapter, we start with our discussion with first chapter. So your first chapter is what? IP as the IoT network layer. So IP as the IoT network layer. So in this chapter we cover main four concepts. So the main four concepts are business core for IP. So second concept is need of optimization, optimizing IP for IoT, and then profiles and compliances. So in business case for IP, so we are discussing about advantages of IP from an IoT perspective, and introduces the concepts of adoption and adaptation layers. So in this business case, what are the advantages of IP? So in an IoT perspective, and then here they introduce the new concepts in IoT, adoption and adaptation. So that we discussed in business case of IoT as a business case for IP. And the next one is need of optimization. So need of optimization means we are going to enhance, we are going to update the IP from IPv4 to IPv6. So and then what are the challenges and constraints we are facing while we migrating from IPv4 to IPv6, that we discussed in need of optimization. And then optimizing IP for IoT. So now in this, how we are optimizing IP, how we are optimizing, how we are updating. So and then in this chapter we are discussing about which are all the protocols we are using uh, uh, to enhance the IoT. So what are all the updation we made in IPs, IPL in updation ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So that updation mainly implies on protocols. So the common protocols and technologies in IoT network utilizing IP, including 6LoWPAN. So we already discussed these things in IoT technologies, and 6TiSCH and then RPL protocols that we discussed in optimizing IP for IoT. And then next one is profiles and compliances. So here they are we are discussing about the main standards, which are all the standards so involved for IP connectivity and IoT and IP connectivity. So which are all the standard bodies involved, okay, for IP connectivity and IoT connectivity. So that we discussed in this fourth chapter. So first we start our discussion with a business case for IP. So business case for IP in the sense, so when while IoT, so IoT uh, will be working in a sense that IoT needs to consume data. So it collects the data. So the data we need to store in a data servers. So that data servers that store data, by using that to store data, that the data are helpful for business purpose. So data store ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? So we are using for business purpose. So in that business purpose, so how that IP will be work. So we mainly use the IP that we discussed in this business case for IP. So the data flowing from our two things is consumed, controlled and monitored by the data center servers, either in the cloud or in the location, so that may be distributed or decentralized. So we are collecting the data from your IoT devices. So we are collecting data and then we are sending the data. So both we are performing for the things in the sense your sensors or actuators. So from that we are controlled. The data are consumed, controlled and monitored. We need to monitor that that things will be made by your data center servers. So either it may be cloud or distributed central systems. Okay, so that will be maintaining, consuming, controlling and monitor the data. So that system solution combining various physical and data link layer, called the architectural approach, with a common layers independent from the lower connectivity to upper connectivity. This is using IP. So here the data are keep on flowing from high-end devices to low-end devices. So low-end devices use your sensors, actuators. So high end devices your data centers. So data centers in the low end connectivity ಮತ್ತೆ high end connectivity ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So now we have to enhance a network ಅನ್ನ enhance ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, and then we need to create a data link layers. So we need to transfer the information between this. So this is happened, or this is these things will be happen, or this thing will be working with the help of your IP. Through this IP is your authentication. So through this IP we can transfer the information from low end architecture or low end connectivity devices to high end connectivity. If you want to make low end connectivity, so and then higher connectivities, upper connectivities. So upper connectivity is your data centers, lower connectivity is your sensor. So that one using internet protocol. So next, in what's the advantages, key advantages of internet protocol in business case for IP. So why that business case IP advantages? Before going to discuss about the advantages, so why we need to discuss, why we need to use this IP in business case. So business case, why we use this IP from the last 30 years, this IP architecture, in the sense it provides guarantee for multi-year lifetime. So multi-year lifetime, so it is used to define layer architecture such as 30-year-old IP architecture. So in the information technology or in operational technology, the lifetime of underlying technologies and products. So mainly, so if you are using any product in your business, so the main thing is the lifetime of that product. So if your product is not good, the lifetime is 1 year, or within that 1 year, so then we can't use that type of devices for long term business purpose. So for long time business purpose, we need to use that device that will support, device or a technology will support for long time. So that helps to business also, that helps to run the business, and then that helps to growth of the business. Each time if you want to update or if you want to change the devices or the connections, so it may creates problem, and then it creates a loss in the business. So that needs to spend more money on that. So that will be a major problem of that business. That's why, so we have to use the devices or the connections, so or the technology that will keep on providing guarantee and keep on working for long term. So this IP helps to work for long time, so it provides a guarantee. That's why we use that IP protocol in business case, okay, in business purpose. So in IoT, so the main advantages of using this IP for Internet of Things is, first one is open and standard based. Okay, this IP is the open and standard based. And then what style? So at style means it can be used for multi-ways, okay, for connecting multiple devices. And then ubiquitous. So ubiquitous in the sense it gives us the present technology, okay, and then it helps to update to the new technology, migrate from one one technology to another technology. Scalable, so multiple devices you can connect. Manageable and highly secure, okay, highly secure security, it will provide security while transferring the information. And a stable and resilient. Stable and resilient means it will be robust and stable for different environments, and then it will be robust, it will be overcome from the errors fastly. Consumer market adoption, so market adoption, so it helps to consumers model. And then innovation factor means it helps to update new things, okay, new things can be updated, and then it adapt to the new things, okay. These are all the key advantages. Now we discuss one by one. So what that advantages? So open and standard based. First one is open and standard based. Open and standard based means, so the Internet of Things creates a new paradigm in which devices, application, and users can leverage a large set of devices and functionalities while guaranteeing interchangeability and interoperability, secured and management. This calls for implementing, validation, and deployment for open standard solution. So while many standard development organizations are working on the Internet of Things definition, framework, application, and technology, none are questioning the role of the Internet Engineering Task Force as the foundation of specifying and optimizing the network and transport layers. So IETF is one open standard body that focus on the development of internet protocol suite and related internet technologies and protocols. So here open and standard based. So here, so why we need to maintain the standard based, and then open source technology means, So the standard based means so Internet of Things. In while we are working with Internet of Things, so here the main thing is we are connecting large number of devices, so that devices will be working functioningly correct. So functionally correct functionalities are nothing but they provide a guarantee of interchangeability, means you have to exchange the information. So interoperability, so it needs to adapt to the certain condition, security and management, managing the resources. So they need to provide guarantee for this devices, for the devices can guarantee the entertainment, interoperability, security and management. So and then they helps to validation and deployment of open standard solution. So for providing all these things, so they need to implement one open standard solution. So for open standard solution they need to provide. So for that many standard development organization, so there are many standard associations work on internet of things definition, framework, application and technologies. So none of them, okay. So till now in earlier, while the IoT is introduced, so there are many organization works on IoT frameworks for try to develop the frameworks, applications and technologies, developing the technologies. But none of the organizations, standard development organizations, are not question about internet engineering task force foundation specifying the network transport layer. So there are that internet IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. So they developed one optimizing technology for network and transport layer. That network and transport layer optimizing technology is your IP. So while we are transferring the information through network and your transport layer, so that Internet Engineering Task Force AETF introduces a one technology, that open standard technology. That protocol is Internet Protocol. So that protocol will be not questioned by anything in the by providing the guarantee interchangeability, interoperability, security and management. So that's why that IP will be open standard. So that one will be developed by IETF. That IETF is an open standard body that focus on developing internet protocol suite and related internet technologies and product and protocols. So this internet protocol is developed by this IETF. That's why none of the standard technologies will not question in the security issues, and then that interchangeability and interoperability and management security and management issues. Okay, that's why IP is a open IP is developed by a open and standard bodies. So that's why that first advantage is this one is open and standard based. And then versatile. So versatile means, so here a large spectrum of access technologies available to offer connectivity of things in the last mile. So we have very large number of technologies that we needs to connect. The main aim of IoT is to connect our devices to or send our information to last mile. We have large number of access technologies available. So even if physical and data link layers such as internet, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, cellular and widely adopted and history of data communication demonstrate that no given wired or wireless technology fits all development criteria. So communication technologies evolve at a pace faster than expected, 10 to 20 years lifetime of OT solutions. So the layered IP architecture is well equipped to cope with any types of physical and data link layer. This makes IP ideal as long as term investment because various protocols at these layers can be used to deployment now and over time without requiring changes of whole solution architecture and data flow. So here versatile means so that things what are all the different technologies we need to connect, so that transfer the information from the last mile. So here we are connecting the devices mainly using Wi-Fi, Ethernet and cellular. But communication no given wired or Wi-Fi all development criteria. So here the communication technology mainly they are concentrating on providing the lifetime of the devices. So lifetime of the devices. So here you are our IoT sorry IP will provide guaranteed for the long term solution. So for long term solution, IP is the only protocol for connecting last mile for a long lifetime. So 10 to 20 years lifetime for IoT solution. So because of the lifetime they will provide the guarantee in the security, and as well as this one is the open standard, and then as well as they provide more lifetime, large lifetime. So that's why in business they are using this IP. That's why versatile. Versatile means is providing a large lifetime. So and then ubiquitous. So ubiquitous. Um, all recent operating system releases from general purpose computers and servers to lightweight embedded systems. So I have to integrated dual IP stacks. It gets enhanced over a time. So IoT application protocols in many industrial OT solutions have been updated in recent years to run over IP. So while these updates mostly consisted of IP at this point. Recent standardization efforts to several areas are adding IPv6. In fact, IP is the most pervasive protocol when you look at what is supported across various IoT solution in industrial verticals. So ubiquitous means uh, it will be very frequently adapt to the different environments or different updations. So your IP will be adjust to different updation. Means in earlier we are using IPv4 technology, and then we are using the hard, not lightweight embedded systems. We are using the hard weighted embedded systems. So now we are using lightweighted embedded systems. So that embedded system contains 2 to 3 operating systems. So in that different operating systems, so your IP needs to work. So that you know that IP will be adjusted for different operating systems, and then it can easily switch from one operating system features to other operating systems, and then some of the industries. So now in present situation they are updating from IPv4 versions, Internet Protocol versions 4 to Internet version IPv6. So now your IP also helps also try to updating without any interruption. So it will be try to update from IPv4 to IPv6. So there will be no problem. So that's why IP will be more preservative protocol. So this protocol, so they were supported across various IoT solutions for industrial verticals. So in industries, if you update your embedded systems or in your operating systems, and as well as if you update your IP versions, so it may easily updated. Okay, so it not create any problems. That's why business case they were using that IP in business case. Scalable means, so we are connecting to the more number of devices. So you can connect any number of devices. Your IoT will provide your IP will provide addresses, unique addresses, and then it helps to make communicate connectivity for any number of devices. So in IPv6, IPv6 version contains 128 bits IP addresses. So we can provide IP addresses to each molecule in a world. Okay, in a system, in our ecosystem, for each model we can provide IP addresses. So that's why scalability is the major advantage. So we can connect n number of devices. So next one is manageable and highly secure. So communication infrastructure requires appropriate management and security capabilities for proper operation. One of the benefits that comes from 30 years of operational IP network is the well understood network management and security protocols, mechanism, and toolsets that are widely available. Adopting IP network management also brings an operational business application now to OT. So well-known network and security management tools are easily leveraged with IP network protocol. However, you should be aware that despite that secure nature of IP, real challenges exist in this area. The industry is challenged in security, constraint nodes, and legacy OT protocols and scalable operation. So here, when the industries, earlier industries are updating from the current IoT technologies, there may be a lot of problems they are maintaining. They are facing. That main problem is security issues. So security protocols, and then some of the communication protocols what they are using. So in earlier version they are using that as security protocols. Some of the security protocols they depends on third parties. Okay, for providing security while they are communicating with some other industries. Okay, for network connections. So now IP. So by using IP, so they can easily switch on from one technology to another technology. So this an IP network management brings a operational business applications to OT. So that operational technologies now this IP in IoT that helps to mm, bring the business that helps to bring means they can update the network management, so they can this IP will maintain the network connectivities. Okay, so and then this IP helps to secure the constraint nodes, means some of the constraint nodes in operational technologies, so they are having some constraints. That constraints also it can be overcome, and then it can leverage the constraints and as well as legacy OT protocols, so it can overcome the legacy, which are all the legacy protocols are there. For that it can provide a additional protocols, so and then scaling operation. So and then it provide highly secure, it provides security, highly security, and then manage the network of earlier operational technologies into new operational technology. So that one is the advantage, and the next one is stable and resilient. So stable and resilient. So stable and the resilient in the sense in IP. So if you are in network connection, so if you are facing any problems or any issues will be occur in the middle, okay, any interruption will be occur. So this IP will provide robustness. Robustness means it will be helpful to overcome from the errors. So there were so many error recovering protocols. They are attaching to this IP protocols, so that helps to recover from the errors. So that IP is stable. So IP has around 30 years, and it is clear that IP is a workable solution. So IP has large and well-established knowledge based, and more importantly, this has been used for years in critical infrastructure such as financial and defense network. So mainly in critical network, financial and defense network. So because of security reason, so it will be work stable. So they can find out, this IP helps to find out any errors, means hackers, different types of hackers, virus and worms. They can overcome. Okay, they can avoid those things. Okay, so that's why in critical infrastructure like financial and defense, they are using IP. So in addition, IP has been deployed for critical services such as voice and video, which has already transmitted from closed environments to open IP standards. Finally, its stable and resilience benefit for the large ecosystem and IT professionals. So because of that security and then stableness and then robustness, so they are mainly used in IT professionals. Okay. So and then consumer market adoption. So consumer market adoption means, so here now if you take any e-commerce websites, so there for that e-commerce website the main source are the people who are connected to that e-commerce websites through their mobiles, smartphones, and that from their tablets. So for all those devices, so that scalability problem, so that scalability, so the your IP will provide a solution. Because of that scalability, so a consumer can marketly directly adapt to the market. So when developing IT solutions and products targeting consumer market, vendors know that consumer access protocols, application and devices will occur predominantly over broadband and mobile wireless infrastructure. The main consumer devices ranges from smartphone, tablets and PCs. The common protocol that links IoT in the consumer service of this device is IP. Okay, so IP connect one of them. And then innovation factor. So innovation factor is, so the past 2 decades have largely established the adoption of IP as a factor increased innovation. So if you compare to the last previous 2 decades, 20 years back, so there are so much of innovations and establishment will be happened in the field of this IoT or information technology. So your IP will adjust to the all innovation. IP is underlying protocol for application ranging from file transfer and email to the worldwide e-commerce, social networking, mobility, and more. So this IP protocol, so they are updating their application, that means they are applying in all different types of applications. So if you are taking considering file transfer, so there also we are using IP, so that will be applied, and then email, and then e-commerce in social networking, mobility. Even the recent computing evolution for PC to mobile, the mainframes to cloud services, and perfect demonstration of innovative ground enabled by IP. Innovation in IoT can also leverage an IP under PIN. So innovation of IoT is also helps in it also depends on IP innovation. So the innovation factor is increasing. So compared to the last 20 years, now that IP, now the different devices we are using, now we are replacing PCs. So PCs with your mobiles. So if you are interacting, or if your innovation will be changes, or if you are migrating from one devices to another device, your IP will be adjustable. Okay, that also replaces. Okay, so next concept, these are all the advantages, key advantages of IP in business case. So in exam, this one is the important question. Explain the key advantages of internet protocol. If they ask, you have to write all these 8 advantages, and then you write a brief definition about that each advantages. So this one is an important question asked in your previous exam. So last year examination. So next one is adoption or adaptation of the IoT protocol. Sorry, IP. Okay, adoption or adaptation of the internet protocol. So that adaptation, first we have to see the difference between adoption and adaptation. So adoption means application layer gateway. So this adoption is application layer gateway must be implemented to ensure the translating between non-IP to IP layer. So this adaptation is nothing but, so we are translating our information. So you are translating our information from IP technology, non-IP to IP. So which are all the information you are stored in non-IP devices, that one we are transferring to IP. That one is adaptation. Adaptation ಅಂದ್ರೆ non-IP devices ಇಂದ IP ಗೆ translate ಮಾಡೋದು information. Translate, not replacing. Okay, but adoption devices replaces the non-IP layers with their IP layers counterparts. So adoption ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ translate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ IP ಇಂದ non-IP ಗೆ, ಸಾರಿ non-IP ಇಂದ IP ಗೆ translate. Okay, it will not replace ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, translate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. But your adoption is nothing but it will replace the non-IP layers into IP layers ಆಗಿ replace ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So that one is the concept of adoption and adaptation of IoT protocol. So the use of numerous network layers. So how to implement IP in data center, cloud services and operation centers hosting IoT technology. So why we need to translate or replacing the non-IP into IP in the sense. So now we are implementing our IoT technologies in almost all earlier version to the new end devices and the new business plans. New business plans ಅಲ್ಲಿ business places ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಇವಾಗ, ನಾನ್ IP ಇರೋದನ್ನ IT ಇದನ್ನ IoT ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. IT ಇಂದ IoT ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ that IoT is your internet means you are going to ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆದಾಗ ನಾನ್ IP ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ IP here. ಸೊ ನಾನ್ IP ಇರೋದನ್ನ IP ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. IP ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒನ್ ವೇ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾನ್ IP into IP. So that translating we call as adaptation. Adoption in the sense we are replacing. Totally we are replacing that non-IP devices to IP devices. So depends on the cost that business in that business. So depends on the their investment they are doing adoption or adaptation. Okay, adoption of IP is more complicated. See, adoption is complicated because we have to replace the non-IP into IP. So that one is difficult. So that takes more work, means that non-IP devices, for that we need to develop a protocol, and then that protocol will store up to the IP devices. That one is more difficult. The use of numerous network layer protocols in addition to IP is often point of maintenance between computer networking expert. Typically one of the two models, adoption and adaptation, is proposed. So there are numerous network protocols they are added to the IP, but in that they introduce the concepts called two models called adoption and adaptation. So in that adoption we are translating. So this one is application layer. So must be implemented. So translating non-IP into IP. Adoption involves adoption in ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ replacing non-IP into IP. So this one is difficult compared to adoption. So next we see, so what is this adoption and how that adoption and adaptation helps in industry. So in industry and manufacturing sector solutions and product recycles, many protocols have been developed for serial communication. So industries they are developing many protocols for communication. So while IP and Ethernet support were not specified in the initial version. So more recent specification for this serial communication protocols integrate Ethernet and IPv4. So in earlier, so for Ethernet and IP, so there are no versions, no specification will be developed for serial communication, but now they integrate IPv4. Supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA. SCADA application that operate both IP adaptation model and as well as adoption model. So this supervisor control and data acquisition. So this one is the application so that operates on both IP adoption and adaptation model. So this one implements that make use of IP adaptation with the SCADA devices attached through serial interfaces and gateway tunneling and translating traffic. So with the IP adoption model, SCADA devices are attached via Ethernet to switch and routers forwarding IPv4 traffic. So this SCADA model so helps to connect to the internet switches, router and forwarding IPv4 traffic. So ZigBee we already discussed in your IoT technologies. So this ZigBee so that runs a non-IP stack between devices and ZigBee gateway that forwards the traffic from application server. So this ZigBee which work on non-IP traffic. So and then gateway, by using that gateway it acts to translate between the ZigBee to IP protocols. So ZigBee and IP protocols. So this ZigBee is work like a adaptation layer. Okay. So next one is so the following factors that trying to determine which model is best suited for IP connectivity. So these are the four factors that helps to decide which model is used to means adoption or adaptation will be suited for your IP connectivity. So ನಿಮ್ಮ IP connection ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ adoption means you are translating from earlier version to new version ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ so ಯಾವುದು adoption layer use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು adaptation use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ that one is suited, that will be decided by these four factors. One is bidirectional versus unidirectional data flow, overhead or last mile communication path, data flow model and network diversity. Based on this you can decide you have to use adoption or adaptation of the IP in your business. So first one is bidirectional or unidirectional data flow. So while bidirectional communication are generally expected, some last mile technologies offer optimizing for unidirectional communication. So example RFC 7228 more may only infrequently needed to report a few bytes of data to an application. So low power wireless area technologies include fire alarms, sending alerts, daily send test reports, electrical switches being pushed R and off, water and gas meters sending weekly indexes. For these cases, it is not necessarily with implementing full IP stack. So here, based on this bidirectional versus unidirectional data flow. So bidirectional data flow means you have to communicate frequently with each other. So between your devices through a last mile. So your devices is present in any other location, last mile location. So you need to expect communication. General communication is expected bidirectionally. So you can't do unidirectional communication. If it is unidirectional communication, then you can implement adaptation. You can translate. But for bidirectional, you need to use adoption. Adoption means you have to frequently exchange the information. So here in example RFC 7228, this IoT access technology frequently report p byte of data of an application. So here bidirectionally you need to compute. Okay. So where data flow is less, so there you can use adaptation. So where data flow is more, there you have to use adoption. Okay. Frequently you need to exchange the information. So if you are sending a less amount of information like fire alarms and then data testers and then reports, electrical switches, okay, test reports, push to water meter and gas meter, there we are using less amount of consuming less amount of data, means data flow is less. Where the data flow is less, there you can use that adaptation. So there no need of full IP stack in implementation. So there you can use adaptation. So there you can easily translate the information. But where you have large amount of information, you need to bidirectionally communicate. So there you need to use adoption. Okay. So next, overhead or last mile communication. So in IP adaptation implies the layered architecture which a per packet overhead that varies depends on the IP version. So based on IP version, we are sending the data, okay, that data payload. will be increasing. So in IPv4 we can send 20 bytes, IPv6 40 bytes, UDP wireless 8 bytes, TCP wired 20 bytes. So if a data to be forwarded by a device is frequent and only a few bytes, you can potentially have more header overhead and device data again. So constantly you need to decide whether IP adaptation model is necessary and how it can be optimized. So depends on the data, how much amount of data, and then which technology IP version you are using. So based on that, you can decide you need to you need to use adaptation or adaptation. So this same consideration applies to control plane traffic that run over IP for low bandwidth. Routing protocol and other verbose network services may either not be required to call for an optimization. So here, based on that payload, you can divide. So you can decide. So adaptation layer is required or not. So data flow model. So one benefit of IP adaptation model is end-to-end nature of communication. So IP adaptation is end-to-end communication. You can communicate frequently, okay, end-to-end devices. Okay, so any node can easily exchange the data with any other node in a network. Although security, privacy, and other factors may put control limits and end-to-end concept. However, in many of the IoT solutions, a device's data flow is limited for one or two applications. So in this case, adaptation. So here, if the limitation in data flow is there, where there you can use the adaptation layer. There is no limitation end-to-end communication there. Adoption you can use based on data flow. Network diversity. So one of the drawbacks the adaptation model is generally depends on physical to MAC layers. So on single physical and MAC layer, for example, ZigBee device must only deployed in ZigBee network island. So therefore, a deployment must consider which application can be run on gateway connecting this island and the rest of the world. Integration and coexistence of new physical and MAC layer, new application implant, deploying operations and plan. This is not a relevant consideration for the adaptation layer. So network diversity means so the major drawback of adaptation is generally depends on physical and MAC layer. So single physical and MAC layer if you are using, so then adaptation model is not you can't use not it will not work properly because ZigBee device, if you take ZigBee devices, this can be used only in ZigBee network island. If you change that one to the other devices, so then it will not work. So for network diversity means we are transferring from one device or one network area to another network area. So there you can prefer adaptation model. So adoption if you are considering, so that one creates a drawbacks. Okay. So next concept is your next concept is need of optimization. So this need of optimization, so we discussed in next video. So today, so in this today's video we discussed about so what in that IPSM network layer first chapter. So in that we discussed about business case for IP. So in this concept, so what's the business case and then advantages of IP protocol, key advantages of IP protocol, and then next adoption and adaptation. So adoption and adaptation for IP protocol. So adaptation means so convert translating non-IP devices to IP in business. So adoption means uh, simply replacing non-IP devices into IP. So and then which are the factors which considered adaptation and adoption. So these two are the main questions. These two are important questions. Key advantages of business case on IP, and then next one is adoption and adaptation layer in IP. So and then which are the factors that influence that deciding adoption and adaptation in IP protocol. The four main factors that are bidirectional versus unidirectional overhead, last mile communication for data flow model and network diversity. So in next video we discussed about need of optimization. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we meet on next video.